Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Algebra 2 Honors. Good to see everybody here today.
Good morning, Mr. G.
Yesterday in class we left off at problem 13.
Yes, sir.
And I think what we ended up doing in this class was getting an answer that didn't quite make sense, right?
No, we got a good answer.
I don't know where we're at. 67.
Well, what happened was, at least that's my recollection from yesterday, but this is worked out yesterday to what K should be.
Yeah.
So everything is the way it should be here, but it shows the whole process of finding the basic format first, and then you substitute in these points. Here's the basic format, and then you substitute in 0, 0 into one of them here, and then also 25, 16 into the other one. And so you solve the system of equations, find out what A is, in this case negative 16 over 1625, and then you're able to solve for K, and then so you have the height of the arch. All right?
Yeah.
Any questions on this one? So let's go on to 14.
Spin the wheel.
So, we can handle this one of a couple different ways. I can have you, let's have you work on it for a while, see if you can get a good drawing of this thing.
Because yesterday we worked on that and you didn't give me a gold star.
Oh, on 13?
Oh,
He did
yeah.
not.
Okay, yeah.
He lied.
No.
Real, he did all the work.
Right.
He did all the work to me.
Well, that's okay. Well, she was engaged though.
Kendall gets a gold star.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Engaged with Zeke.
My dad and Atlas got play golf.
Thank you. Yeah, me and my dad and Atlas play golf together.
Larry
Yeah. Always. They tried to get me and Atlas.
Brian, are you making the sketch of this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Brandon's gonna make it.
Making a sketch, Zeke?
Huh?
You making a sketch? When is it? Saturday?
You left the guy?
I am drawing a tree.
Now you drink it like half
Oh,
a year.
goodness.
Oh, you will give That's what I tell her, take it easy until it's
I'm
Then your dad go take everything. Everything.
I've seen some good
Good loot.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, Bryce, I find that these problems here are kind of challenging, and if you look at them, the challenging part to me is making the drawing. If you can make the drawing somewhat accurately, I think it shouldn't be so bad as working back to the vertex form of the equation and figuring things out. This one here shouldn't be as hard as number 13, for instance, because you're actually given a vertex here. How can you tell you have a vertex?
Gives you the height and the total.
It gives you the maximum
Where'd you get the
height,
light?
I don't know.
and it gives you the total distance of the shot.
Divide the total distance.
Now you have to make an assumption. Actually, does anybody play golf here?
Snakes do.
I have before.
Play golf?
It's not.
What you're doing with this is you're assuming a perfect parabola, but when you actually do a golf shot, is it a perfect parabola?
No.
Why is it not a perfect parabola?
Because the weight is lost.
Air resistance.
Yeah.
It's air resistance that really, now, certain sports are very close to a perfect parabola, like basketball, for instance. Because a basketball shot, relative to the size and weight of the ball, is not going to provide much air resistance. It's going to be pretty accurate as far as a parabola. But a golf shot, not as much, but you have to assume a parabola essentially for this. Which it would be if you didn't have air resistance, would be a perfect parabola.
Yeah.
It's pretty windy out.
It's raining too.
I don't think so.
Okay, are we ready to choose a name?
Yes, sir.
I think it's
Wait, no, I don't know.
No, yesterday, sorry, you took me off the thing.
But it's a new day, Cheyenne.
Yeah, it is a new day.
I don't want to.
Randy.
Mr. G, how tall is this? Yeah, how tall is this floor to the ceiling in our school?
About 11 feet.
I don't know.
It's probably a little less than 10 feet. It's probably more like 9
It's
feet.
11.
What?
Like 11.
No,
That's like
10 feet.
That's
That's
no.
Is that 10 feet?
That's not
Yeah, but it goes higher over here.
That's like not even six.
I think it's a little less than 10 feet.
I was like 211.
What do you say?
Right here, look.
It's like, so it's like 2 of me.
Oh, that's 9 feet. That's 9 feet. I lied.
Yeah, so it's about 9 feet, maybe a little over 9 feet, but about,
That's a lot taller than 9 feet.
yeah, it's probably about the net.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll choose somebody.
Yeah, it's been
That's like 11.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. It's okay, either.
I just
drew a picture, but
Let's
So let's go ahead here.
That's okay.
Bro, it's gotta be Randy.
That's what I'm doing.
Randy. Okay, you can go up.
Mark, your phone's going
I
off.
swear.
It's gonna be Bryce, all right, Bryce.
Does your tree have a squirrel in it?
Go here.
You know your picture?
Bryce not here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to,
Here yesterday, the lighting.
Spin it again.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that. I want to work with
Randy.
Bryce, but
At least one.
No, that's not my name anymore.
It's Jamie.
At least
No,
one.
you're kidding.
Oh my. Yes, sir. Alright, what I say?
all right, Atlee, what do we got?
Okay, so I don't know if I drew it right, but, so I drew the tree that was 60 feet tall.
So here's a tree, I'm gonna make it green, right?
No soil.
Here's a green tree
Trees.
that is 60 feet tall, okay?
And then to the right, I drew,
The trunk is.
for the goal, because it's like 100 feet away.
The goal.
So this is 100 feet away here,
Yeah.
A golfer.
okay?
And then I drew a line where the golfer stands that's like 500 feet from that. So it's 400 feet in between the tree and the.
Huh?
How do you draw it like that?
Yeah, you messed up badly.
Well, what?
Tripping.
I drew it like that.
So starting right here,
Yeah.
and so the shot goes like, and so, okay, what else? This is 60 feet high. Okay, what else, Allie?
Well, you have to draw the thing that, like, where the ball goes, but,
Oh, the curve?
yeah.
Curve.
Okay, so is that what you did? You just drew a curve like this?
Yep.
Yeah, but,
I don't even know.
Something like
I
that?
don't know if it's right, but yeah.
Something like that, okay.
All right.
But if you hit a couple, I think it's right so far.
And so,
Assume.
what are we trying to find here? How much did the ball clear the tree? We're trying to find this distance here, right?
Why y'all so technical? I'm just like, okay,
That's why you're just.
Okay, what next?
Because you want to make the equation?
F
well, I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
A x plus
If you hit
or minus
it's gonna go
minus 8 squared.
Yeah.
Like softball.
Times 60.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, there's a little.
F.
Honeycomb is like.
Okay,
You can find the vertex, but
so we got a vertex somewhere here, right? What is our vertex?
Oh, 120, but
Yeah.
that's a high.
120 question mark.
Yeah. No, it's question mark.
Yeah.
Is the vertex
No,
60,
but-
120?
But, alright,
No?
it's gotta be like,
is it 250, 250?
No, we're not gonna get it. We don't know.
250?
Hey, 250.
told y'all.
Why is it 250?
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a
because
high
I have a one.
Half pound.
I knew it was coming out something.
Told y'all, but
All right, so there's some help. Okay, Atlee, you ready to keep on going, Atlee?
Yeah, I'm ready.
good job, Bentley.
So f of x equals a. I'm right with you, so.
Okay,
X minus 100. I mean, 120. Yeah, 250 squared plus 120.
okay.
Go, go.
What next?
Or you plug in 0, 0.
Yes.
Good job.
You can plug in 0, 0?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 0 equals a. Parentheses 0 minus 250
What's 250 squared?
squared plus 120.
It's about,
About 50,000.
about, yeah, 600.
Shut up.
62,000. Wait, what?
Yeah, you got it.
62,000.
62,500. So
About,
we get 0 equals 62,500A, is that right?
Yes.
Plus 120. That's supposed to be an A right there.
Are you?
That's an A. Okay, what does A equal to?
You can subtract 120.
Yeah, so A is equal to negative 120 over 62,500. And I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here. I'm going to go like this. I say, look, if we cancel out these two zeros, right?
that's what I did.
That's what we about the 12.
All right, so now do we have an equation we can use? Which is?
f of x equals negative 12 over 6,250. X minus 250 squared plus 120.
Okay, and how do we tell about, now are we able to answer the question?
Yeah. Plug it in your calculator.
So let's go to the calculator here.
Good job.
And the wheel.
This is
In it. So what are you gonna do?
What gonna be?
this
A white claw?
strap.
white
Like, why would they put that there?
What is that gonna be?
Okay, so
It'll be a cop.
now one thing I'm going to do for this, I'm going to change the table set to ask.
Not no more.
Why would I do such a thing? You'll find out.
Oh
Why
yeah.
did you ask? We're gonna ask you a question.
Indent.
Anyway, we're going to go in here and put it in, right? So we have negative, it is what, 112 over
12 over
6250,
Yep.
and we're going to have x minus 250
20.
No.
squared plus 120.
Yep.
Now, how can we tell the height? Go here, and we don't see anything. What do we do?
Oh,
What number are we going to put in here?
60. I mean,
No.
400.
No, 60.
400.
400.
I'm thinking 400.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too.
They were thinking.
So now we have that. I don't know what that is decimalized. We can figure it out. 384
I'll get
Plug
it.
it in.
divided by 5.
He's calling right now. It's like a 6.8.
No, it's not.
So 76.8, right?
Yeah.
6.8, you called it, Mark.
Like, yeah, our handshake, you guys.
Mark too smart.
You're like.
I thought handshake, we should miss that.
76.8 feet.
This is go.
So by how much does the ball clear the tree?
The bathroom.
About
By
76.8.
16.8.
Lane.
Let's see. 16.8, yeah.
By 76.8 minus 60, right?
Yep.
By 16.8 feet.
Mark,
Turn off your phone.
turn off your phone, Mark.
We didn't have my phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Very good. Questions on that? It's a,
How many
You had to-
guys?
kind of piece some things together, right?
How many guys?
But can't be done.
How many guys?
Only Ziggy?
Any questions on this? Any other questions?
I think I did good.
We're not doing.
It's like, is it? Let me stare at you. Was it like?
Mark.
Sorry, you dumped me. Sticky, you dumped me.
Okay,
What?
How's not every height?
It what?
You dumped me.
It seems like that. It was like this. Yeah.
here we go.
Eddie tripping.
At least,
No creative. No.
at least smoking.
See? I
No.
that's the for this one.
Okay, now this last set here should really go pretty quickly. You should be able to analyze these here and just mark in answers.
Oh, that's good.
Remember that one time, G?
Wait,
Shut up,
if it's
Mark, shut up.
-8, then you put
Madeline.
down, right?
Remember that one time with Atlee?
It's opened up.
So open upwards, what does A have to be to open upwards?
Okay.
A has to be positive, right?
Who watches this?
So just write up or down.
So anything that has negative in front of it is not right, is it?
Yeah.
So not,
Not.
okay? So no. Okay, what else is our piece of analysis? X equals 8. So which ones have X equals 8 as an axis symmetry that are left? Yeah, so yes,
So it gotta be.
and yes, and yes. This one here does not because that's negative 8. So really that's all there is to our exercise set today. Make sure you put your name on it. We're going to be, pick them up. We're going to be taking notes on the next phase. You need to have your calculator. Speaking of calculators,
Is that lunch?
Cheyenne, okay, speaking of calculators, yes, you need to have your calculators, those of you who have them, when you take the PSAT on Thursday, those who are taking the test, bring your calculator with you to that.
Ziggy, excuse me.
Yeah. Cindy, listen. You don't want to hear this. Jake doesn't want to hear this.
Okay,
Yeah, she got stuck in the market. Yeah, this is mine, Avery. It's pretty good.
Fitting quadratic.
Tuesday.
Get it. You got notes, Mr. G?
yes. This will be notes a little bit right today, rest of today.
Oh, yeah, you said,
Should I say one?
yeah.
You should say.
It was the same one from yesterday.
Say it.
No,
What?
Bryce, here, what you need to do is you need to take this, and watch the video and everything, and finish this out, okay, Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce.
Come on, Bryce.
Gotta listen to my sweet voice, Bryce.
You're all the stuff you say.
Okay,
Fitting quadratic functions to data.
You're like a little sitting.
okay, fitting quadratic functions to data. Essential question, how can you find the equation of a quadratic function to model data? And what we have here is this TEAK, and the TEAK is the state standard for what we are expected to cover and know as a result, right?
Facts.
It's called Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. Use regression methods available through technology to write a quadratic function on a given set of data.
Notes.
And so that's why we're going to use our calculator eventually.
Calculate.
So, we have our first situation here. Explore. So we have right here is we have a science class collected lab data and assembled that data in the form of a table. And the teacher asked students to find a reasonable quadratic model for the data. So you have the data, and then you plot the data. You plot the points on a coordinate grid.
Yeah.
What is going to be a step you would take to find a reasonable quadratic model for the data? What would you do with this thing?
Draw a line.
Draw a line?
Find a slope. I don't know.
You make the.
Okay, remember we have, remember we have this thing right here, right?
I can't see.
That's an
FX.
equation. Equation.
Right?
So you get 2 points.
So what can you do with this thing?
You get an equation.
The axis of symmetry.
Yeah, so find an axis of symmetry, right? So how would we find an axis of symmetry here? Where would our axis of symmetry be? Yeah, if you look right between 7 and 8, that kind of looks like it might be a good candidate, or it could be closer to 7. But when I did this earlier, I used 7.5. I don't know if you think that's a good thing to do. There's really a lot of, this is one of the things, when you fit data, like you have some leeway and some initiative you can use to do this. Let's just go ahead and mark this at 7.5. So x equals 7.5. Okay, what else? What else would you want to do besides that? Pardon me? Have 2 what? 2 points. You can pick. Yeah, that's right. You could do that. Now, if you could take this point here and another point here maybe, and we could do that same thing we did on problem 13, right? Yesterday, we could do that. I'm going to suggest something different. I'm going to suggest trying to figure out a vertex and then getting another point. So let's see if we can get a vertex. So where would our vertex be on this thing? About 34, you think?
Yeah.
I'm thinking 33.
So let's say H equals 7.5. And we'll say K is equal to 34. And yeah, you could use 33.5 and all that,
35?
but, and you can use 35 possibly also. So you do have some things.
Nah.
So 34 is going to be like halfway, it's going to be right here.
Yeah.
Like I know when I made the video working this out, this is what I used, these things. Now, just because I did it, was that the perfect way to do it?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, right?
Maybe.
I don't know what the book does. I can go with the book and see what the book did, but anyway, so now we can actually start working on this thing, right? We have f of x equals a, so we have x minus 7.5 squared plus 34. What next can we do?
Plug in a point.
Plug in a point. Now this is where it kind of is a little bit tricky, because whatever point you pick here is going to be the representative point that is going to make this thing go through our vertex and whatever that other point is. Now, one thing I did when I did this earlier, I used this point here. And why do you think I used that? Why do you think I used that point?
Because it's 0 or 3 0.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it could fit, but Marcus is saying here, and I think that's why I did it. I think it makes the arithmetic a little easier, right? If I use 3, 0.
Yes, sir.
So now we can just put that in here like this, right? So what goes in here to use that point? Okay, we have 3, 0, right? So what's going to be over here? 0 equals
A
3 minus 7.5 squared plus 34.
4.5 squared
Yeah, so you have 4.5 squared.
is 17.
So A is going to be equal to negative 34 over negative 4.5 squared. So negative 34 divided by negative 4.5 squared. Should that be it?
Yeah.
So negative 1.679.
8.
Yeah, now here, I recommend going to 3, if it's easy like this is to go to 3 decimal places, I recommend doing that. One reason I do that is because when you guys get into calculus, AP, that's a kind of a standard 3 decimal places. So I want you to get used to using 3 decimal places at this level. And if we have to use it for further calculation, I recommend even going out to 5 decimal places. But we're not going to have to calculate any further than this. So negative 1.679. So now we have f of x is equal to negative 1.679 I'll leave myself a little more room here. X minus 4.5,
4.5.
7.5, excuse me. $7.5 quantity squared plus 34. And then we can see how that fits in our calculator. what looks like negative 1.679 x minus 7.5 20 squared plus 34. And if we go to, we can go to zoom standard, but that's not going to give us very much of this. So we can adjust our window, maybe 0 to 15, 16 maybe. Scale 1, Y minimum, use -10. We can go to 40 by 5s. So graph, we see something like this. And how can we tell how closely we fit the data? Yeah. So what we're going to do is I want you to enter this data in your calculator. Do you know how to do that? L1, L2?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stat edit.
Stat edit. And so the x values are 3 through 12, right? 3 through 12. So I'm going to go here, stat, edit, clear here, clear down, 3 through 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then values over here. We know this first one is 0, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just write what they are here. We have 18, 28, 31, 33.
15.
18, 28, 31, 33, 33. See what else we got here. 27, 21, 13, 2. 27, 21. So we have them all here, right? So now we go over here and we see that our plot is turned on here. So it should work here. Okay, does this match pretty well? Yeah, a little bit, right? Now, I'm going to do one last thing today with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to let our calculator figure out and do what we call a quadratic regression on this.
Regression.
Do you have an idea what a quadratic regression is?
Regressions, I don't know.
I'll show you, okay? All right. So let's go to, does everybody have the data in there?
Yeah.
Go to Stat, Calc, 5. And then we can just hit Enter until we have an equation. And here's our equation. Negative 1.564 x squared plus 27 plus 23.1 minus 51.6. So I'm just going to write those down.
Negative 1.5643939939.
So negative 1.564, we'll say 23.1, negative 51.6. So here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to erase the original one.
It's my calculator, not yours. No.
I said that, like when you open it up.
Said that since I opened it up. You right on it?
Wasn't me? I don't think you are.
Sure? Yeah, exactly.
What should I draw?
You know what Kelsey called me?
Kelsey.
Girl.
What's she called?
Yeah. Because we're in the March League. No, like, oh. I was like, you don't even know me. She wasn't good.
So graph,
Yours?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it all here. What happened?
I haven't talked to her in a while.
Is that, it's supposed to be X.
To the group chat, but she left.
Where's my account like this?
But she didn't know what was going on.
Never again, I guess.
It's X.
Look, really? Where's next?
Yeah, they get like 4 or 5.
I don't have to word it.
She's going.
Really?
Let's see if this works better.
I'm gonna get Luke real quick. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, that works better, right?
Actually, no, he asked me.
So, okay, so the red one is the one that the calculator figured out. Do you like the red one better than the blue one?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But the blue one's pretty accurate too, right?
Yeah. about
So
right.
they're both pretty good. But that's, you'll see differences like that. So we'll just take it and leave it there today, and we're gonna resume tomorrow. Thank you.